We've cued the music, and you know what that means. It's time for the Louie Herron Toyota Weekend Kickoff with Louie Herron.
At the end of the day, what's most important is to find the car you want that meets the expectations that you need for you and your family.
And Randy Beasley.
Of course, the weekend, you got folks maybe thinking it's going to be some nice weather to get outside and peruse the car lots.
And now here they are, Louie and Randy.
All right, it is the final Louie Herron Toyota Weekend Kickoff for 2013.
Wow.
Where did this year go?
It went right by us, buddy. Went right by us.
Good morning, Merry Christmas.
Same to you. Same to you. Definitely a Merry Christmas.
Yes.
It's not a Happy Holidays for me.
No,
Is it you?
no, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. And, if you don't like that, just let me know.
That's it.
And I'll wish you whatever you want.
I'll give you Bill O'Reilly's number.
Sure.
See?
Whatever you want. I mean,
Exactly.
We used to have a word. It had them all together. But no, Merry Christmas is good, and it doesn't offend me if you come up to me and say Happy Hanukkah.
No, exactly. Exactly.
Okay, got that out of the way.
How about football? How about Dolphins?
How about it? How was your trip?
It was good, man. Miami beat the Patriots.
Oh,
Everybody
yeah.
listening knows nobody cares about the Dolphins like I do, but that's okay. That's
what
okay.
was the final?
27-24.
And you were there.
I was there, and Tom Brady had the ball, 4th and 5, right in front of me. This no-name guy that just came from San Francisco got signed 2 days before off the practice squad.
Wow.
Was put in the game because Brent Grimes got hurt. And Nolan Carroll, which is another Dolphins safety, got hurt. This guy's never played corner. They put him in at cornerback. Now, against Tom Brady, and put this guy in that was on the practice squad for San Francisco literally just 2 days prior. And he breaks up, what's the one guy's name for the Patriots? Armadella or whatever his name is. Anyways, little receiver. Anyways, break that play up, and then he picks the ball off the last play, picks off Tom Brady.
Wow, how about that?
It was awesome.
Normally, have you ever watched the Red Zone channel? You ever seen that?
No,
it's very addictive.
Everybody tells me about that. I guess that's where you can see all the scores, like as they're scoring.
What they do is whenever a team gets down near the red zone, they'll switch to that game.
Oh wow,
it's very addictive. But I have watched that the last couple of weeks. But this Sunday I was out of town, so
you missed it.
All I saw was a little bit of a little DVR of the Falcons game. I didn't see that game.
Well, Miami. Here's the good news for you, in case you missed it. Miami Dolphins. They control their own destiny. They're in the playoffs, provided they beat Buffalo this week in Buffalo. It's never an easy task when you got to go up north when you're from South Florida. And then they got to come home and play the Stinky Jets.
The Stinky Jets. All right. Well, good luck to your Dolphins. Was
that just like a cut me off? That sounded like, you know what? We're not talking Falcons, so let's move on. Sounded like.
We're living vicariously through your Dolphins this year since the Falcons are stinking it up. But
one quick question.
Okay.
One quick question.
Okay.
Is Ryan Tannehill going to be the guy for Miami? Is he going to be the guy? That's what I mean. You know football. I wish we had people call in. I'd love to hear people's opinion. Is this guy going to be the guy for the Dolphins' future?
You know a lot more about it than we do. You tell us. Is he the guy?
I think he is, but from an outsider, that was my point in asking. When you guys listen, because nobody watches Miami Dolphin football, here in Middle Georgia, very few at least, and so I'm wondering what little you hear, because look, most people that see the Dolphins, it's like the way when I was growing up, I used to see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, we called them the Yuccaneers. That's how bad they were. And so most people over the last 10 years, when they see the Dolphins, they're like, what? Miami who? They're terrible. So that's why I was asking.
Well, they keep asking this same question in Cincinnati. Is Dalton going to be the guy, right?
Yeah.
And nobody's answered that yet. What is it, Andy Dalton?
Yeah, that's a good.
Because he's got a lot of talent around
But
him.
I will tell you that one person that I am disappointed with that I think is really phenomenal, doesn't get much credit to Stafford with Detroit. If he could take that team over the hump, that guy right there can play ball.
He can, but I tell you, he's got
his deal?
He's got this wire that's not quite connected. So sometimes he'll just go
haywire.
He'll just say, Matthew, why did you do that? He has that, and I don't know if they'll ever be able to
Tony Romo syndrome
get
kind of
that
thing?
wire connected. But he's got all the talent. So we'll see if the light comes on. All right, we have talked football. Let's talk about what you really want to talk about.
It's year-end deals. Year-end deals.
And when we say year-end, we're talking year-end, folks. 11 days, 12 days.
This is big.
Yeah.
But again, normally when I come to the table, Randy, there's a lot of stuff that we talk about that some people know or they understand. But again, I try to do my best to give you some information that maybe you've never heard, something that you said, wow, I didn't realize that. So we talked last week a lot about year-end deals with used cars, right? Mm-hmm. And we'll recap that a little bit maybe after the break, but I want to just get into one thing real quick because we've got to go to a break because we've talked football so long. I want to tell you one thing about year-end deals that nobody thinks about is the lenders, the people that loan the money. Now, why do you think that would be huge for year-end? This is a nugget. This is big.
This is good. I'm getting a little noise on your mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we'll figure that out during the break. But okay, why is it big for lenders at year end?
Yes.
Well,
I'm going to answer it for you.
You know, I just say, you know, they got numbers too they look at.
Okay.
So, you know, their year's ending.
Okay, so here's the thing that people realize. We know there's a high level of urgency to get rid of 13 model cars because 14s are on the ground and blah, 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 right? We got that whole sales pitch, which obviously has validity because it's definitely money and cash they've got to get rid of. But the lenders, here's the thing that's so crucial. The lenders have quotas and goals that they have to hit. And what people don't realize is, did you know that lenders actually give rebates to the dealers to pass on to the consumers or keep themselves?
I did not know that.
Yes, they do that, especially at year end, as it relates to how many contracts you send them. So when people say, well, I got a cash deal, I'm going to pay more money and this and that and the other, I'm telling you, like, we have Southeast Toyota. Like, so right now they give an extra $500 cash for Camry. Towards the financing of a deal. Also, if we do so many contracts with Southeast Toyota, they will give us as much as $425 per contract. Now, how does that help a consumer? Well, very simply, if I'm on a deal where a consumer's offering me a $500 below invoice deal, and I just normally can't take that deal. But if I know that if they're going to finance and they've got good credit and they're going to go through Toyota and the rates are competitive, 0%, 1.9, the consumer likes it, and I know that I can get $425 if I hit my 20 cars with them. Well, you do the math, $425 times 50 contracts that I send, and that could be $20,000. So me as a dealer saying, well, you know what, Miss Smith, I wouldn't normally take this deal for you. I really wouldn't. But you know what? If I can get this deal before the year ends, it's going to retro back and pay me $425 per contract, $400 per contract. Next thing you know, you start buying 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 deals because now it makes sense to go deeper into the deal than you normally would. And it has nothing to do with the profit of the sale of the car, because in the financing industry, obviously people know that we obtain financing just like Robbins Federal Credit Union or Bank of America. They don't do it for free. We make money on the financing as well, and they pay flats. Every time we send a contract, you can get a $250 flat or whatever that you get from them as an incentive. So this can be passed on to you, the consumer. So when you're sitting there negotiating a deal, okay, you need to use that as leverage. You know, let them know. Say, hey, listen, I know there's rebates that maybe the finance companies can give. I'm willing to go with the finance company if the rate's competitive, if you can get some extra money, because I want to pay this for the car. This is something that a consumer would never even ask. Right. They would never even know. And right now, at the end of the year, those incentives that the lenders give are at its height. It happens sometimes during spring, every once in a while during the summer, but at the year end, I don't care if it's Ally, I don't care if it's American Honda Finance, I don't care if it's Hyundai Finance, I don't care if it's Nissan Motor Company, I don't care if it's Southeast Toyota Finance. All of them jump on board because they're fighting for that same market share of who lent the most money.
So basically what we're saying is there's so many spokes on this wheel when you're talking about year end, about how many different things can make this the time of the year to buy. So there's another one that I was not aware of.
And nobody isn't. And when we come back, we've got more that you've probably never heard. Stay tuned because you don't want to miss it.
This is Country 102. You're listening to the Louie Herron Toyota Weekend Kickoff.